In a world driven by logic and science, there exists a realm that defies conventional understanding, a realm where intuition, energy, and unseen forces converge. For centuries, psychics have walked among us, claiming to bridge the gap between the known and the unknown. What is it really like to live as a psychic, to see, feel, and know things others cannot? This exploration delves into the lives of those who possess extraordinary gifts, revealing the beauty, the burden, and the mystery of their existence. Today, we'll explore how life is different for those with this gift. We'll answer the question, what's life like being a psychic? The word psychic comes from the Greek psychikos, meaning of the soul. It refers to a range of intuitive abilities, including extrasensory perception, ESP, clairvoyance, telepathy, mediumship, and precognition. Those who identify as psychic describe an expanded sense of awareness, a constant influx of information not derived from logic, sight, or sound. Instead, they speak of impressions, feelings, images that flash in the mind, a sudden knowing. These impressions often come uninvited. For some, they appear in dreams. For others, while wide awake. What all psychic experiences share is their unexplainable nature, and the often deeply personal emotional effect they have. For many who identify as a psychic, their journey begins in early childhood. Long before they understand the word intuition, before they've heard of mediumship or extrasensory perception, they begin to experience a subtle, yet powerful, awareness. It might start with an uncanny sense of knowing, a child predicting that someone will visit before the doorbell rings, sensing a relative's illness before symptoms appear, or having vivid dreams of events that unfold days or weeks later. Others describe interactions with invisible companions, what adults dismiss as imaginary friends, that turn out to resemble deceased family members, sometimes ones the child has never met or heard about. These moments are often brushed off by parents and caregivers, seen as coincidence, overactive imagination, childhood fantasy. But to the child, these experiences feel completely real. In some cases, they are frightening. Children may wake up in the middle of the night claiming to see figures standing near their bed. They may express dread about places, people, or situations, without being able to explain why. They might become emotionally reactive or withdrawn, confused by the feelings they absorb from others around them. Psychics often report feeling different growing up. Sensitive, overwhelmed, emotionally porous. Many say they could sense tension in their homes before conflict arose, or knew when someone was lying, not because of tone or expression, but because of what they felt in their bodies. Psychologists sometimes diagnose these children as highly sensitive or empathic, traits that overlap closely with psychic self-reports. In some spiritual traditions, these children are recognized and supported. Without guidance, many young psychics learn to hide their abilities, or worse, begin to question their own reality. The result is often isolation, anxiety, or emotional confusion. For some, these abilities go dormant during adolescence, reawakening years later under stress, loss, or spiritual seeking. For others, they never fade, becoming an inseparable, if misunderstood, part of their identity. The early signs of psychic ability rarely come with instruction. They appear quietly, unpredictably, without validation from the world around them. And yet, for those who experience them, these moments become foundational, the first brush with an invisible language, the first glimpse into a reality most people never see. To live as a psychic is to navigate not one, but two overlapping realities, the material world and the energetic world that lies just beneath it. Psychics often describe heightened sensitivity, not just to people, but to places, emotions, even memories embedded in the energy of a room. Walking into a space, a psychic might instantly feel sadness or anger, residual emotions, as if the walls themselves had stories to tell. In social settings, they can be overwhelmed by stimuli. Faces blur, emotions flood in. Physical sensations, headaches, dizziness, pressure, often arise from absorbing too much. While most people rely on their five senses to interact with their environment, psychics describe a sixth, or even seventh, layer of perception. An ability to receive information from sources that are invisible, unspoken, and often beyond logical comprehension. This perception can take many forms. In the psychic community, these forms are often referred to as the clairs, short for the French word clair, meaning clear. Each clair represents a different intuitive channel. The four most common types of clairs are: Number 1 is clairvoyance. The most well-known of the intuitive senses, this is the ability to receive visual information beyond the physical eye. Psychics with this ability often report seeing flashes of images, symbolic scenes, colors, or even entire sequences, like a dream playing out in their mind's eye. These visions may be literal or metaphorical, often requiring interpretation. A rose might symbolize love. A storm might reflect emotional chaos. Clairvoyance is rarely cinematic. More often it's fleeting, like a mental snapshot, clear for a moment, then gone. Number 2 is clairaudience. This is the ability to hear messages or sounds that don't originate in the physical world. This can be an actual voice, as if someone whispered directly into the ear, or internal, like a thought that doesn't feel like one's own. Some clairaudients hear music, names, or phrases. Others describe hearing sudden tones, ringing, or pops, which signal the presence of spirit or a shift in energy. Number 3 is clairsentience. This is the intuitive sense of feeling, but not just emotions, physical sensations as well. A clairsentient may suddenly feel sorrow, anxiety, or joy that doesn't belong to them. Emotional energy transferred from another person or spirit. In some cases, they might physically feel what another has felt. Chest pain from someone who passed of heart failure, or pressure in the head related to an accident. It is one of the most common forms of psychic sensitivity, and one of the most difficult to manage without training or awareness. And finally, claircognizance. This is the ability to simply know something, without evidence, logic, or prior information. Psychics with this ability often receive full thoughts, answers, or understandings that arrive instantaneously, as if dropped into their consciousness. It's often described as a download, a rush of insight that feels both foreign and familiar. Unlike the other clairs, claircognizance comes without sensation. There's no voice, no image, no feeling, just the knowing. For many psychics, more than one clair is active, and often simultaneously. They may see a symbol, feel its emotional tone, and instantly know what it means. The messages are not always dramatic. They can be subtle, a passing thought, a sensation in the body, a word that echoes without source. In the world of intuitive perception, two terms are often used interchangeably: psychic and medium. But while they are closely related, they are not the same. All mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. The difference lies in where the information comes from, and who is communicating. A psychic receives information by tuning into the energy field that surrounds a person, place, or event, often called the aura or energetic blueprint. This information may relate to the person's emotions, thoughts, memories, or potential future outcomes. Some psychics read energy through objects, psychometry, others through intuitive impressions, visions, or feelings. Psychics can sense emotional blocks, relationship dynamics, career decisions, past experiences, potential outcomes based on current energy. They may use tools like tarot cards, pendulums, runes, or simply their natural intuitive faculties to receive guidance. But crucially, they are tuning into your energy. A medium, on the other hand, acts as a conduit between the physical world and the spirit world. Mediumship involves direct communication with souls who have passed on, loved ones, ancestors, or spiritual guides. Rather than reading your energy, the medium receives information from an external consciousness, often described as receiving it from spirit. Mediums may deliver messages from deceased loved ones, validate names, dates, and personal memories, offer emotional closure or unresolved communication, serve as a link between the grieving and the departed. The experience is often deeply emotional, both for the sitter and the medium. Where a psychic taps into what is, your present energy and probability-based timelines, a medium taps into who was, those who have crossed into the next life. The psychic is an energetic interpreter. The medium is a spiritual messenger. One reads patterns in the current field, the other bridges dimensions of existence. Despite their differences, psychics and mediums often share the same intention: to provide insight, peace, and healing. Many practitioners carry both abilities, seamlessly moving between psychic insight and mediumistic messages within a single session. A psychic might start by reading a client's energy, then pause, as a loved one in spirit suddenly steps forward with a message. These moments are unexpected, powerful, often profoundly transformative. From the Oracle of Delphi in ancient Greece to the shamans of indigenous tribes, every culture has its seers and visionaries. These individuals have long served as conduits to the divine, offering guidance and insight. Yet, in the modern age, psychics often face skepticism, dismissed as frauds or entertainers. The scientific community remains divided on psychic phenomena. Some researchers dismiss it entirely, citing cognitive biases like cold reading, confirmation bias, and the desire for meaning in randomness. Others, including respected physicists and parapsychologists, suggest that consciousness may not be confined to the brain, and that non-local awareness could explain some of the more unexplainable phenomena reported by psychics. Studies on remote viewing and precognition have produced statistically significant results, but have yet to gain mainstream acceptance. In the shadows of legitimate inquiry are frauds and exploiters, performers who use manipulation for personal gain, contributing to public distrust. For many skeptics, the lack of repeatable, controlled data is the final word. But for those who have experienced it firsthand, the data is personal. To carry psychic awareness is not without cost. Many psychics report fatigue, emotional overwhelm, and bouts of depression, often caused by constant energetic exposure to pain, grief, and unresolved trauma. Some describe empathic burnout, taking on too much, too fast, and losing the ability to distinguish between their own emotions and the emotions of others. Others speak of spiritual downloads that leave them disoriented, overstimulated, or drained for days. To manage the toll, many psychics turn to solitude, nature, or creative practices that restore balance. They are not disconnected from life, only more attuned to its layers. Despite the challenges, many psychics view their ability as a gift, not for themselves, but for others. They serve as intuitive counselors, energy healers, or spiritual guides. They offer insight where logic falls short. They provide connection where grief leaves silence. The power of a psychic reading lies not just in accuracy, but in its potential to awaken something dormant within the client. A sense of purpose, peace, a reminder of the invisible threads that bind us. In every culture throughout history, psychics have existed. In modern society, they remain on the fringe, and yet, their presence is sought by millions each year. In the end, being a psychic is about more than seeing the future or speaking to spirits. It is about living in tune with the unseen, navigating a world that oscillates between skepticism and wonder. For those who walk this path, it is a calling that demands courage, compassion, and an unwavering belief in the power of connection. In a society that craves certainty, psychics offer something else: a glimpse into the unknown, a spark of hope, and a reminder that there is more to this world than meets the eye.